What's going on, everybody? It is Big Game James. That's just on the Twitter. I don't know why it's in there. What's up, everybody? This is Big Game James. And guess what? I told y'all I was going to have Miss Renee Washington, even though she played me. You know what I'm saying? She's supposed to be a psych.
Well, now I'm glad I did.
See, yeah, that's how we do it. You know what I'm saying? What's good? You know what I'm saying?
Eagles fan, I would have been here.
See, and she already throwing it out there. She the Eagles fan, you feel me? So that should just already tell you something right there what we dealing with. But she seemed like she a cool Eagles fan, and I think we'll be able to roll and be able to do this. What's up, Texas Bread TV? Hey, you heard what I said. She an Eagles fan, so we're gonna give her the business, but we're gonna give her the nice business. We're not gonna be evil. We're not gonna say evil things to her. Oh, she said she can take it, so let's go hard on her.
I can take it. I mean, look, my go-to argument in the last 5 years.
Oh, that ain't no go-to. That ain't no go-to because you know what? Right now, y'all in pre-trade. It's all bad for y'all. I mean, y'all
better in Dallas.
I mean, I know, but you know what? It's looking a little better than y'all because y'all went from the top that quickly to the bottom that quickly, and that's just how Eagles do. So I don't. And here's the thing about the Eagles, and we'll move on from this. I'm just gonna say one thing to you. Y'all always want to be like the Cowboys. Cowboys don't never keep the Eagles in their mouth, but the Eagles always got the Cowboys in their mouth. Just remember that.
Nah, see, the only Cowboys do have a Cowboys banner, hat, background. I feel like Cowboys fans feel the need almost sometimes to like over exude, Fred, your name is, and you probably are a great person. I'm not attacking you, but this is another example. Texas Cowboy 83. My name's not Eagles. But like, that's my problem with I have so many friends that are Cowboys fans, and
I'm not that Cowboys guy though. I'm not. If after we get to talking and we get to know each other, you'll be like, okay, you ain't that Cowboys guy. I'm not that dude. I'm the realist. I'm not the over the top. As long as you're not the over the top Eagle, because y'all over the top. I ain't the over the top guy.
I think Texas Brad just realized I was talking about him. It's look, both of our teams right now, to be honest, are disappointing. So for as much as I don't like the Cowboys, you know, it's been some pretty bad football. Of course, Dak Prescott's injury in itself is you never want to see that. I don't care who I'm a fan of.
Right.
But the NFC East as a whole, I'm gonna have us join together because the NFC East as a whole has to stop being the worst division across the league. So that is something like, look.
But you know what?
Great.
But you know what? The way the NFC East is, it can go bad from one year and go really good from the next year. That's the way it is because it's always a competitive division. No matter if it's bad or good, it's always competitive, and they always get an influx of talent. And if it's a down one year, it'll come right back up. So I think it'll come back up. I don't hate. I'm glad. I want to see Jalen Hurts. I want to see him battle Prescott. I want to see Jalen Hurts do his thing. I really do. I want to see him get his smashed and get his head beat in when he play us, but I still want him to succeed and to have a successful career in Philadelphia. I hope he does.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But now let's talk about you. You on here finally. I got you, and I really appreciate that you've done this. Miss Renee Washington. First of all, I'm going to jump right out there. Talk a little bit, give a little bit of background because you have so much stuff. I can't really explain it all. I'd rather you do it, but give a little bit of background and then we'll just jump in and have a little chit chat.
Yeah, so I work with ESPN covering college athletics. So I do everything from sideline reporting to color commentary, play-by-play. I work with Fox Sports where I cover the Mystics and Wizards out of DC and then also host my podcast Beyond the Headlines through there. And then also I work with the Philadelphia Union as a game day host. So that's in the MLS. Pre-game shows, post-game shows, halftime shows, all that good stuff. But I do a little bit of everything. You know, I model, I'm a reporter, I'm a motivational speaker, but I actually got started in sports as an athlete myself. So a lot of people don't realize I was a 3-time All-American Division I soccer player. I played some pro. So my background in sports runs deep. As an athlete myself, and even as someone that's had the opportunity to coach at all levels, including the college level. So yes, I'm happy to be here, and I'm glad that we were able to connect. I apologize that it did not happen sooner, but
Hey, it's all good. And you know
Great
what?
things come to those who wait. So here we are.
Hey, great things. You know what? And I think on your last podcast, not what I seen, you said your father played professional basketball overseas too, correct?
Yep, I come from a sports family, so definitely basketball is a big part of my family. Football, I actually had an uncle that played in the NFL. I have a lot of athletes, all different sports: boxing, basketball, football. The major ones were definitely basketball, though. So I was one. My sisters and myself were the ones that kind of got our family started in that soccer direction. But yes, I'm a sports junkie. I grew up watching all sports. That was always on our TV, going to games. I was a Sixers fan growing up. So has been my everything. I'll tell you that.
Hey, I really go ahead.
Been fun.
I mean, I really love hearing that type of stuff. You know what I mean? But you know what? I want to look kind of steer to the soccer. You said you were a 3-time All-American. I think you went to LaSalle.
I did in Philadelphia.
Okay. So you went to LaSalle. Talk a little bit about that experience because, and I'm gonna just touch on it. I don't see a lot of black women in soccer. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if LaSalle's predominant. I don't know if LaSalle, when you went to high school, how it was, but did you encounter anything when you were playing soccer, stereotypes, anything? Did you, I hate to just jump out there like that, but I'm just saying when I went to a predominantly black school, and then when I got to 8th grade, I switched over to predominantly white school, and it was just different. The athletics, everything was just different. How I was treated, it was just a whole different scene, and I had to get used to certain things that I had never really seen before. So I'm just asking you, did you encounter those things, especially on the soccer field? Because maybe you don't see a lot of black athletes playing soccer in the U.S.
Yes, 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 and 1,000 times yes. The sad part is one of the best things that came from it, to be honest, was playing soccer and playing at a high level too. I played with a lot of players that still play today, that still play in the NWSL, that are on the women's national team, that play in the MLS on the men's side. I still play and have a lot of friends that have played and continue to play at a high level. So for me, being successful as a minority in itself was difficult because I think, as a kid, you don't really understand why a coach, treats you differently, why there's politics. But it taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about the world. And now as an adult, a lot of those very things that I encountered as a kid, the racism, the politics, I still deal with to this day. It's part of being Black in America. We're seeing this right now in the midst of all that is going on across our country. But for me, that's nothing new. I dealt with it, and my parents taught me how to deal with it from a young age. I had to have those hard conversations about why I need to be 10 times better, why my experience is different, why I can't do the same things as some of my teammates because they look different. So I honestly love what soccer has brought for me into my life. But a reason I have stepped away from it, and the reason my role in soccer has been different, is because of the fact that I dealt with so many politics. But that's partly why I am who I am today. A big reason why I try to, through my work as a reporter, I still am actively involved in youth soccer as a coach. A big reason why I stay connected with the game is to be able to tell these stories, to help the next generation, to help someone that looks like me have the opportunity to be successful and not feel like you have to change who you are in any way, but to be unapologetically yourself. As a minority, there aren't a lot of faces that look like us, in any industry, let alone as a soccer player. But it's, again, the same thing in sports reporting. I'm a lot of times the only Black woman in these conversations. It's a lot of older men. It's a lot of white men. So I'm used to being the minority. I'm used to being uncomfortable. But that's why I do go and do everything I possibly can to make sure that my work, my credibility, my reputation speaks for itself. Because I don't ever want to be seen as a token. I don't want to be seen as just a Black woman. I want to be seen as someone that could be in the conversation. I'm bringing my own share to the table, and I can talk with the best of them. So I think that through it all, I look back and I'm like, why? It's easy to say, why did that happen? Why did I deal with so much? But the politics of being a Black girl in soccer has helped me tremendously as a Black girl in this world, and a Black woman in this world, I should say. So yes, I have, and I went to a private school in New Jersey. I'm
Mhm.
Jersey through and through. So I was also one of the only black students in my private school. It's a small private school. LaSalle is give or take. I mean, I don't think it's not an HBCU. It's a small
Uh-huh.
school. You have a lot of black kids, but it's really not that many.
Right.
So, especially for a Philly school. So I'm used to being in environments where I was the only black girl. I'm used to being in environments where growing up actually in New Jersey, my public school was predominantly black. So much like yourself, I went from a predominantly diverse school. It wasn't just black, it was black, Spanish, white, all mixes, to a predominantly white school, to LaSalle, which is just a small school in general for college. So
Mhm.
I've seen it all, but I think that also is something that has helped me because I'm used to being in these different environments and being
Right.
uncomfortable.
Hey, that's you know what, just listen to that's amazing. That's one of the reasons why I was loving to have you on, because just everything that you talked about, the experiences that you dealt with. Let's kind of just okay. So you did the soccer thing, so you moved on. What really made you jump into media? I know you had the sports background. You've been around it all your life. Is that what just pushed you after you felt like your soccer career was over? Like, look, I just love sports. I got to do this after this. Like, this is just what I got to do.
Yeah, so it was not nearly that easy at
Okay,
all.
tell me that story.
And I'm from Ewing, New Jersey, for those of you that are curious, from Mercer County. But um, for me, I actually didn't know what was next. You know, after I finished playing soccer and I was playing professionally, I stepped away. I was tired of dealing with a variety of between injuries and dealing with the politics. I just grew tired of it. And
Right.
on top of that, as we're seeing right now in the news around women's soccer, still fighting for equal pay and opportunities, you don't get paid a lot. So it got to the point where soccer gave me a free education. I got my
Mhm.
master's degree through it as I was able to coach college. But at some point, I had to step away because soccer was taking away from my livelihood, my mental health in that sense. So I was time to make a change, and I got into coaching. But I realized as I was coaching college at Lehigh that although I enjoyed it, it wasn't what I was passionate about. You know, it wasn't what I wanted. And so my undergrad degree was in public relations, and I always struggled with feeling as though it was too late for me, you know, as I
Mhm.
was getting into junior year, senior year, and then in grad school, thinking I hadn't had the same internships as my classmates. My internships were all in PR. I had a lot of internships, but they were all in PR and marketing. So it was really a leap of faith where I had an opportunity to either take an internship or to step into what would have been the first role of as the lead assistant coach at the D1 level, and which is a full-time job with benefits, and it was
Right, right.
guaranteed. And I took that leap and went with the internship, and that led to the first job, which led from there to me, you know, just kind of finding my way. But for, the hardest thing was trying to build, and
Mhm.
that's something that, you know, it was never just given to me. I didn't have the same experiences. I didn't have any idea of how to navigate in this industry, but I just learned. I just connected with people. I was reaching out. I built my network. I, you know, changed my whole brand on social media. I built my own website. I just really, really, really changed who I was as a professional to start
Right.
to embody being a sports reporter. You know, carrying myself differently. Everything I was doing across all of my platforms, across all of my different outlets was consistent in that.
Mhm.
So it was never as easy because growing up, I didn't, although I watched sports, I never thought of that as a career that was possible for me
Right.
until I really took a step back and realized I love sports. I love talking about sports. I love the adrenaline rush of being on a sideline and being involved in games. What does that look like as a career reporting? But then even then, once I realized it still took me a few years to fully understand that it's not too late and I can still get to that next level of being a sports reporter. But even within that, it was hard of figuring out what's next. How do I find a job? How do I do this? How do I, you know? And I was just slowly checking off different steps of my career of getting into TV, getting into professional sports, getting into, you know, basketball and the NBA, and, you know, starting to reach the different goals that I had professionally. But it was never as easy as I want to be a sports reporter. Let me just go do it. You know,
Right.
that
Right.
that was me. That wasn't my path.
Hey, but you know what? It's a great path that I've seen you make, and it's awesome that you're doing it. Now, I want to ask you another thing. Everything that you were talking about, you know, we talked about, you know, coming up, being a minority black woman. I understand. I feel all that because, like I said, I've dealt with it, and it just, and even me doing this, even on my own, but I've just seen it in every facet of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I want to ask you, the sexism, because I always wanted to ask a female this, is that when you get in the industry, do you see a lot of that? Do you see a lot of men just naturally just look down, or she don't know what the hell she talking about, or she just got here because she pretty? Do you deal with that automatically and you feel like you have to, like you said, extra prove yourself? I mean, do you have it? I mean, is that annoying?
Yeah, that is something that I've always dealt with. I
Mm-hmm.
think the biggest thing though is when you're consistently doing the right things and you are consistently, putting out content that shows your credibility,
Mm-hmm.
much like how you came across my work and vice versa, your work starts to speak for itself. So I
Right.
remember in the beginning, I used to have to do a lot more of introducing myself in that sense of letting people know, no, I'm a 3-time All-American. I played pro soccer. I know what I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about. I know sports.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now, my work, my name, of course, I'm not gonna act like I'm big time enough that I just walk in a room,
Right.
people know who I am.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you.
But I've taken those steps that I don't have to explain myself as much.
And
But
that's a beautiful thing. I didn't mean to cut you off.
exactly.
That's a beautiful thing.
Exactly. But the hardest thing is in any industry, especially this one, and especially as a minority, I use the example, if a man was to mess up like Giannis's name, if you were to say like, I don't know, Giannis Antetokounmpo, I don't even know how to fake pronounce his name, Antetokounmpo, instead of Giannis Antetokounmpo, you probably would be like, oh, he just messed up. If I go in and say Giannis,
Right.
it's a whole different story.
It's
So
like, what the hell? How's she on TV?
yeah, like, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She can't even say Giannis' name properly.
Yep.
But that's the biggest thing, is that for as long as it takes to build up your reputation and your credibility, it can be broken
That's
in a matter
crazy.
of moments. So the way I carry myself, and I always tell women especially, but anyone, you do have to carry yourself at a higher standard, because there are always trolls and people that are looking to discredit you, to say that you're not smart enough, to say that you don't know what you're talking about, to act
True
like
story.
you don't know sports. So I'm
Yep.
constantly learning, watching. I watch a lot of 30 for 30s and ESPN specials, and I'm reading up on things and just keeping up with everything going on. I might be covering the MLS, the WNBA, the NBA, but I'm going to keep up with baseball. I'm going to keep up with what's going on in hockey and what's going on in softball and lacrosse and all these other sports, because I don't ever want anyone to be able to question my knowledge and even just my craft, in that sense of who I am as a sports reporter. I don't ever want you to assume I'm here because I'm a pretty face or because I'm a token. I might be a female, but I can talk about what happened in the 1996 finals. I can talk about what happened in the NFL, in different Super Bowls and championships and major, and even just the games we might not talk about. What happened when in Kobe's final game, when he went off and hit the game winner and scored 60 points? Like, we can go into history. I may not cover like Major League Baseball, for example, but I can talk to you about baseball. So I think for me, it was just understanding that as a minority, and this is in life, anytime you're a minority, you can't be average. You can't do the bare minimum. You can't be complacent. You always have to be learning and growing more, because somebody is quick to assume that Tom or Joe knows what they're talking about and assume I don't. So I think the biggest thing is just really carrying myself differently and understanding I can't get away with the same things some of my counterparts can, but also I have an opportunity through that to be someone that can hopefully pave the way for others that look like me. So it's on both sides. I'm hoping to break barriers down, but also pull others along with me so that we don't have to continue having these spaces where there's not a lot of Black people, there's not a lot of Black women, there's not a lot of women. And I'm a minority. I want to help in general with turning that corner. So to answer your question, absolutely. And I don't know that it's going to change anytime soon, to be honest, but we're getting there. We're making progress.
Hey, well, you're doing a hell of a job. Just listening to you, I'm inspired. Like I said, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to interview you. Just by listening to you, your inspiration just to me, because I just love the power that you speak. It's a lot of power in words. Words are very powerful, and how you carry yourself and how your words are presented, it can go a long way. And I just love listening to you talk. Now I want to ask you another I always say I want to ask another. I can't help it. I would like asking you questions. I mean, that's why you're on here. But pay. What about, do you feel like when you come in the building, you do said you work with ESPN. I said you done Fox Sports. I think you done like the Ivy League football. You done them
Mhm.
regularly. Um, do you encounter a lot of, man, for real? But he's getting this.
Um,
Do you deal with that?
yeah, I think that's the gender gap in pay is something that is across all industries. I think for
Hmm.
me, I have always, or I haven't dealt with it as upfront because I have always advocated for myself.
Okay.
And actually, I get the opposite now because I think we are. This is the one of the better things that's coming out of it is more people are aware of the fact that it's 2021 and I don't care if I am a female, I need to be paid what I deserve to be paid. So I
Right.
actually have the opposite where I usually have people, especially like white men that are producers or directors, kind of like, this is the pay. Does this work for you? And I'm like, yeah, like that's fine, you know. So I think people are more sensitive to it now. Now I think
Gotcha.
as a whole across all wages, women still are behind. But for
Hmm.
me personally, I think that I have been fortunate where I usually am on the other side of it of like I my worth is known. And that's something that you just have to also have the way that you carry yourself. I'm not saying that
Hmm.
resolves all the issues altogether, but I
Right.
think something that I've seen is when you walk into a room for an interview or you walk into a room and you're stepping into a studio to be on a show, whatever it may be, the way you carry yourself is the respect that you're demanding from people. So how you're
Hmm.
dressing, how you're talking to people, your the prep work that you do. Are you showing up early versus are you showing up late? Are you showing up with everything already done versus someone that has no idea what's going on? Those are the ways that you really show your worth, and that way you don't ever let somebody feel as though they can get by mistreating you. So now when you do have that issue of not getting paid what you're supposed to, it's like, no, I put in the work, I put in the time, there's no excuse. But personally, I fortunately have not dealt with it as of right now, and hopefully that never changes. But I have dealt with situations where I have had to go to bat for myself and defend myself and speak up because I felt as though I was mistreated because I was a woman, and had to make that known that I'm not ever going to be a puppet. I'm never going to be someone that's just a talking face. I don't want to just sit on a show and smile and let everybody talk around me. I want to be in the conversation. If we're talking about anything sports related, I'm in the conversation. I'm not just sitting here tossing out questions and being like you know, just that typical stereotypical female on the show.
Hmm.
So I have had to, more than just the financial side, go to bat for I'm not a talking face, a talking head. I don't want to just smile. I want to be in the conversation. So kind of not as much as you would think, I guess.
Okay. Well, hey, that's great that you haven't been able to experience. Now, I'm gonna take
Knock
a
on
way.
wood doesn't change.
I feel no
Better
way.
not change.
Hey, we pray, we playing blessings, so there ain't nothing but blessings. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I'm gonna take this real left field since you said you was a Philly fan, and I'm gonna hit this because I'm not gonna keep you on here too long because I know you be running out and doing a lot of things, so I know you can get tired doing this. But Philadelphia Eagles, what do you think about you guys right now? I mean, you guys had the trade. Carson Wentz is gone.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is in the building. You dropped out of that top. I mean, and now you're right below Dallas, us. Do you think that they'll try to jump back up in there? What's your kind of feelings about your Philadelphia Eagles as of this point right now?
I am never, ever, ever confident going into the draft as an Eagles fan because we have, if you look over the years of the players that we have passed up, and even like last year alone,
Uh-huh.
in a receiver heavy draft, and I think Jalen Rager is a great player. Don't get me wrong. Um, but I still look in that draft and I'm like, what did we do? We did not pick what I think we sometimes outthink ourselves. I
Mm-hmm.
think we sometimes are trying too hard to um overthink and over explain why we're picking someone because we want to pick underdogs and we want to pick players that are maybe not as that people are overlooking in that sense. And if you're in a draft and there's a Justin Jefferson still on the board and the Jalen Reagor, and Justin Jefferson wasn't expected to fall that low, why are we not taking Justin Jefferson?
Right.
Had a historic season and broke all these records as a rookie. So I do think that the Eagles front office is in a tailspin. Yes, we are always in a tailspin because I just don't know why it's so complicated. Here's what I see as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles always have injuries,
especially
on the offensive line. Our offensive line is always old. We don't have depth, and we end up having second and third string players on our O-line as in a starting role. Problem number one. The Eagles have had, of course, on the quarterback position with Carson Wentz, he's had a number of injuries, but it's all like a consistent issue of like a snowball issue, I should say, snowball effect of the reason Carson Wentz partly is getting injured is because Carson Wentz didn't have players to throw to, and because Carson Wentz didn't have players blocking for him, so he didn't have as much time, and so he had to run the ball more. And once he gets out the pocket, I still felt as though mentally he wasn't the same as what he was in 2018 before his ACL.
Yeah, he spooked.
That's natural for any athlete. It takes time. So you have an ACL, you have back issues, you have a concussion. Back to 3 straight years of postseason injuries or late season injuries because the ACL was earlier in the season. That you're not going to be the same player. So you need to put pieces around him. And I just don't understand why in the draft, the issues of what's needed on the O-line specifically has never been taken care of. So I am not at all confident going into this draft. I think that for Jalen Hurts, I was actually very surprised at the news that he was considering taking off for a year after being awarded the opportunity to start and be the franchise quarterback. But then also I have to wonder how much more is going on behind the scenes. I know I just heard the reports that Doug was meeting every week with the front office and that there's all these, they were heavily criticizing him and heavily he was supposed to be a puppet in that sense of just doing what they wanted. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, which was evident in that last game against Washington, which I still don't understand the reason behind that, of not just letting Jalen Hurts play the entire game in a close game against a division opponent, but neither here nor there. So am I confident? No. Do I think the Eagles are going to do what makes sense? Never. That's part of being an Eagles fan, though. You just absolutely understand that when it seems simple, the Eagles are going to find a way to make it complicated. They're going to find a way to do the unthinkable because they're trying to, I feel like Howie and Jeffrey Lurie, everyone's trying to outthink each other. Instead of just picking the guaranteed player that we know is healthy, young, in his prime, or at least working to be in his prime, that you can rely on, instead of the Fletcher Cox types players that are older, run down, and need to be someone that's not a first string player. So I don't know what the heck's going to happen. I think at the end of the day, the thing is we like to carry this Philly underdog mantra, which was cool in 2018, but let's move on from that. Let's not be just the underdogs. How about we be the guarantee? How about we be the top team? How about we go ahead and get the best players? How about if you see somebody available, that you go on and you make a move for them instead of relying on and hoping that someone will pan out. But I look, again, over the years, I think about players like Jefferson, like Metcalf, DK Metcalf, that we have passed up on, that we could have either traded up to get or that were available that we didn't get. No, not at all confident whatsoever. But the fortunate side is we're in the NFC East. And as we talked about before, the NFC East is usually up for grabs. I have no idea what, and in my opinion, I don't feel overly threatened, I should say, by the other teams, the Giants, Washington, and your Cowboys, because I feel like the NFC East as a whole is just kind of in this nonstop mess of outthinking themselves and always has some sort of drama and whatever else going on. So I think we'll be fine because we're fortunately in a division that isn't with as many heavy hitters in that sense. But I think the preseason is going to be disappointing and the start of the season is going to be frustrating and the draft's going to be bad. So there's my positive spin.
Hey, well, let me tell you something. First of all, I like this Eagles fan. I'm going to have this Eagles fan on here all the time. This a real Eagles fan. You feel me? Because a lot of them just delusional. Like they be saying,
delusional.
Like they be saying about us Cowboys fans. Because a lot of Cowboys fans is delusional. I don't be mad. I don't be hating on that. I be understanding when people like, man, y'all say Super Bowl every year. I get it. I feel you. I get what they say. Cowboys are the delusional fan. But it was great to just breath of fresh air just to hear everything you were saying about that. It was
All
just like,
right.
but no, but you know what? Because I'm on my side, just to say my quick thing, I don't know if I'm the pessimistic Cowboy like the last couple of years because I don't hate the Joneses. I just don't like y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know what? As long as this bargain Ben and Steven and the drama and who showing the media and just playing the games, it's just like you said, this is a drama division. It's always some kind of drama in this division. And it's just like it's crazy how there hasn't been a back-to-back champion in over 10 years. That's ridiculously crazy considering all the talent that has come through the NFC East. But like I said, I feel like it's just a turnstile. It's just a lot of drama, and it's the head. When you look at Washington, right? They had problems with the Dan Snyder incident, right? And then you got Philadelphia, and then we know about the Joneses. You know what I'm saying? Giants. They had the changeover. I feel like as long as whenever you have issues at the top, there's always going to be issues at the bottom. I don't care what anybody says. And I think that's why this division is always weird like that. So to me, this year is still up for grabs for anybody. I don't think Washington is going to be that tough this year. I'm not really worried about the Giants. I'm going to keep it real. I ain't really worried about Philly this year, but I feel like because y'all always hate us, y'all going to always give us the best game because we always staying in your mouths. Like I said, yeah, we always in your mouths.
See, I don't feel like
no. We are.
To be honest, I actually don't feel like the Eagles play well against the Cowboys. We usually try to get into a game versus the Cowboys and play awful.
The last game with Jalen Hurts, they didn't play good.
That was a fluke. But that's, you know what? Somebody said I'm the first intelligent Eagles fan. I'm not going to take it as a compliment because
take it as a compliment.
We are not that great. I'm not taking that as a compliment.
Yes, you are.
No, I think the thing is, as an Eagles fan, you learn it's just like a Philly sports fan in general, because you can easily say this is the same for like the Sixers. The moment you get your hopes up is the moment they let you down. The moment
it's us too.
No, that's the one thing we have in common. As much as we're rivals, we both are in the same boat. And the moment you think, oh, they're done. I actually was about to stop watching the Eagles play, and then they put Hurts in, and all of a sudden it was like, whoa, wait a minute. There's something exciting to watch for. But again, the moment you don't expect anything, then all of a sudden they're surprising you. They have this magical run. Carson Wentz gets injured in 2018. It's like, we're done. There goes our season. Here comes Saint Nick to the rescue. Like, I've learned to just expect nothing. That way they can surprise me instead of me going into it with all these, this is our year, and then they end up being 3 and whatever else and terrible. So that's partly why I'm gonna just lay low. I'm gonna expect nothing. I think that for the division, when I'm watching these moves like Fitzpatrick to Washington and everything else going on, not at all threatened by the division. But at the end of the day, I think the Eagles we always defeat ourselves. So it doesn't really matter to me what other teams are doing in our division as much as what is going on in the Eagles camp.
Oh man, I just love hearing you talk because I feel that same way. I told my mantra for the Cowboys 2021 and beyond. We'll see. We'll see. That's my mantra. We'll see. I ain't jumping. I don't care if you sign and the draft is 100% great. We got all these players. I ain't jumping for the foolery no more. I'm not falling for the foolery no more. I don't care if you get all these. I got to see it because it's been 25 years and running. And I'm not doing the cartwheels no more. You're not pulling me in like the Godfather says. Every time I try to leave, y'all pull me back in. That's what they be trying to do, and I'm doing it. But before I let you off here, Miss Washington, I thank you so much for jumping on here so much to me. It's been a great time. What do you have for plans now and beyond? What's kind of on the horizon for you, and what's 2021 and beyond looking for you?
Well, first of all, let me just say, for these Sixers comments, I do have to talk about it.
About it.
I actually, and I have been openly telling people this because I have said predictions in the past, but I didn't say them out loud enough, and I was right. And then when they happen, people are like, "You never said that." So I am calling a Sixers Lakers final.
What?
Oh yeah.
You said you're calling it?
I am. The Nets, I am not sold on the Brooklyn Nets.
I ain't sold on that.
I am not sold on the Brooklyn Nets. And I said this last year with the
And
Clippers.
they got better defensively too.
The Nets?
No, the Sixers.
Oh, I was gonna say
the hell no. Because when y'all got Dwight Howard, goofy Dwight Howard, I mean, when y'all got those type of players, it helped you. It solidified. That's what y'all have been missing. Defense.
So I'm actually a Lakers fan. Let me just pause and say that right now.
Oh, you're a Lakers fan.
I'm a Lakers fan,
okay.
But I'm from this. I always root for Philly because I'm a homer.
Everybody's a Lakers fan.
Nah,
Jesus.
I'm a LeBron fan. I'm a LeBron fan. I have always been. I was a Heat fan. I was a Cavs fan. I was back being a Cavs fan. I'm a Lakers fan. I am a proud LeBron fan. So I am calling a Lakers Sixers final because the Nets to me are a lot of what we saw from the Clippers last year. They're going to get into the playoffs. Their defense is going to catch up to them because you can maybe beat some teams that are lower in the division in the league one night, but to beat a team best of 7 in the playoffs, not playing any defense and making it a shootout, no, not when you have teams like even the Heat, the Sixers. They have players that can score from all parts of the floor. So Sixers fans, I think this is going to be your year. I'm feeling it. But for what I have coming up, a lot on the horizon. Definitely going to be dropping some new content. Falling the second round. Dropping some new content around I do cover the Wizards and the Mystics, so I do have some new stuff on the horizon for that. Working on some games for ESPN this upcoming fall. Launching some different business moves that I can't say just as of yet, but if you follow me on social media, you'll keep up with it.
Hey man, that's a beautiful thing. Well, give out your little Twitter handle because I know you got your Twitter. Give all your little handles out so people can know about Miss Renee Washington, what she doing out there.
Absolutely. So Renee P. Washington across like everything. So on Twitter at Renee P. Wash because my full name does not fit. On Instagram at Renee P. Washington. Clubhouse, I'm not really on that as much, but Facebook, Instagram, I'm on YouTube. I have a website. I'm everywhere. So you can just search me at Renee P. Washington. But I'm excited for this upcoming season of watch. I always love the intersection of sports. We got the playoffs coming up for the NBA. We've got the WNBA starting up, the NWSL and the MLS starting up. We've got the NFL off-season, draft, preseason excitement. I just love it. So definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, I know I'm excited. I'm actually going to the draft this year. This will be my first time actually attending the draft. I was supposed to go last year, but I'm out here in Ohio. I'm from Texas. I'll be there this week. You know what I'm saying? But I'm out here in Ohio currently because I got 2 of my sons out here. They recently just both graduated. So, I wanted to see them finish their thing through. Appreciate it. Actually, my youngest son will be 20 on the 15th. Shout out to you, Jamon Josiah Gates. I love you, son. But just like I said, this will be my first time to the draft. I'm really excited. I don't know if it's going to be a big deal, but just the fact of the atmosphere, you can say I was there, you know what I mean? And just kind of see how this draft unfolds because it's always an exciting kind because you never know what's going to happen. You can have 30,000 mock drafts. People can talk about 20 million trades, but nobody really know what's going to happen until they start calling them numbers and names and stuff. So I'm getting excited for it, but I really appreciate you jumping on here with me. I'm glad we got to finally link up. I thank you for taking out some time, being able to let me be able to interview. And I thank you for being able to give me your background and everything that you're doing and going to be succeeding in. I'm just excited to really watch and see you grow. I mean, not saying I'm anybody like to watch you grow, but you know what I mean? That's just dope seeing what you're doing out there, especially for a lot of the women out there in the sports field, because you know what? I remember I'm older, I'm almost 50 years old. So when I came up, there wasn't no kind of women in sports, nowhere. You know what I mean? And I remember how it was a hard way to go. Like even basketball. I remember when everybody was like, WNBA, that's whack. Ain't nobody watching that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like girls basketball. Ain't nobody watching that stuff. But to see how it started and to what it is now, it's like amazing. Because I seen how it started and to see the players now, how it's progressed, it's amazing. Like, man, that's a big thing to me. And just seeing how women have just really kicked the door in a lot of sports, refereeing, being coaches now, you know what I'm saying? That is just good because you want to continue to see diversity in the sports field because it can't just be dominated by one thing. So it's good to see that. And I'm glad you're really kicking that door in. And I want to see more great things from you. So I really appreciate you, Miss Washington. Thank you for taking time out for this interview for me. And I hope you have a great night and take care. And hopefully I'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. This has been a pleasure between the comments and your questions. And of course, the fact that you're a Cowboys fan always makes it even that much better. But it's been a lot of fun being here. And again, I'm sticking by my predictions. I will say the Eagles are going to win the NFC East.
Nope.
The Sixers, like NBA final.
I'll roll with you on that.
I'm not going to go as far as to say like NFL predictions at all, because as you said, the draft can go any which of directions. But I'm definitely hoping that our teams, at least my team, doesn't give me a heart attack come draft night. But thank you again so much. And I'm excited to continue to watch what you're doing too. And it's been a pleasure connecting.
Hey, I appreciate you. And like I said, Ms. Washington, you have a great night. And we'll be talking to you soon. Take care.
See ya. Bye, everyone.
Peace. All right, that was Miss Washington, Miss Renee Washington. I'm really glad that I finally got to get her on here. We were supposed to do it at 8:30, but she had another endeavor before she could talk to me. So I was just really excited to see, be able to talk to her. She's a fantastic woman. Just what she does, man, is amazing. All the things, Mystics, Wizards, Ivy League football, soccer. She's touching every basis of every damn sport out there. She's a grinder. And I just really was happy to hear her story. I actually found out about her because I found out she was following me on Twitter. Thank you. I appreciate you, Steve Lumpton. She was following me on Twitter. I didn't even know. And then I was like, whoa, I was like, man, I need to interview you because I want to find out a lot of things that go on with your life in the industry. And as I was telling y'all before, I want to add a little bit more diversity and not just always have like Cowboys, interviews, the players or maybe a personnel or anything like that, but always step out and just kind of throw a little curveball in there and bring somebody in here who may not be a Cowboy person, but still has a great story to tell about what they've done, maybe in the sports field or their background. And that's always good to hear because you know what? I like hearing those things. So I had a really great time with Miss Renee, and hopefully we'll be able to kick it again. Especially, she's a cool Eagles fan. I really don't deal with a lot of cool Eagles fans, but it's funny when I first hit her up before she came on, she was just like, "Oh Lord, you that Cowboys fan?" I was like, "What?" She was like, "You that Cowboys guy?" I'm like, "Nah, I ain't that Cowboys dude." You feel me? But the fact that she's a Philly fan like that, a realist. You don't come across a realist Philly fan, and then that's when you can see. Because my thing is like this, those obnoxious fans, whether it's Cowboys or not, you can't have a normal conversation with them because they're just so over the top, and it's just like, oh, he sucks. And you know damn well he don't suck. You throw stats at him, you watch the tape, he don't suck, but they say that. I don't have a conversation with those type of people. I can't have a conversation with them people. Those people are not worth my time and my breath. But when I feel like somebody like this, who's an opposite fan of my team, but can speak logically and talk logically about their team, and we can have great back and forth and dialogue and debate about it, and we can see the flaws of both teams, it makes it great conversation. And then you start getting appreciation for the opposite team, the fan, and you don't have the hate. When the people just be spooing and want to fight and want to do all that other dumb shit, I'm like, y'all weird, man, because ain't none of y'all even play for the damn Eagles and none of y'all play for the Cowboys. And we going nutty and people fighting in the stands. Y'all, wow, I ain't doing that shit. Like, no, I'm not doing that. For me, I'm not doing that. But hey, you know what I mean? Like I said, appreciate my guy. Oh, shout out to you, David Jenkins. Shout out to your aunt on her birthday is on the 15th. So shout out to her. Let me give a few shout outs before I head up out of here. Miss Jawan, Mr. Jawan James, the Ninja, the David Jenkins, Boo thing, of course, you're in there. Jim Laws. How you doing, baby? Good to see you. Miss Renee Washington, once again, Aaron Elias, Steve Lumpton. Really appreciate all you guys jumping in here. I kind of did this on the fly, but that's okay. Those are the best ones to do when you do them on the fly. So make sure you just keep on tuning in. I've been saying I'm gonna have this video. I ain't gonna lie, I've been lazy, low key. I don't know if y'all know, I took a picture of the roof. You feel me? The raccoon. Still dealing with him. He's a little. I don't know, dog. He's a little small critter. The last one was up in the attic. We got him, and he was a big sucker. And we took one. We got him to the face, and he was a one and done. But this little joker, I don't know. He can't be big because my dude been in the attic twice. and he a marksman. I ain't no marksman, but I'll shoot like 20 bullets at you. You feel me? I ain't no marksman, but I'll shoot you 100 times. You know what I'm saying? What up with you, Wimberly? You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking to my boo thing today. We was out there shooting today. I'm gonna give it to her. She a marksman. We put the deodorant up in the tree. She was splacking them. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't splacking them. I wasn't doing it. I'm not a shooter. You feel me? I'm more of a hands. I'm more of a boxer. I'm more of a fighter. You know what I'm saying? I don't really use the guns. And if I ever got a, I hold a pistol, but I'm not the shooter. You feel me? I'm rather the guy that rather just scrap. I'm not the shooter. I'm the guy that, like I told Boo, she's the type of person to be out there on the roof scoping your ass. You know what I'm saying? Snipering your ass. You feel me? And picking you off. Me, I'm a dude. I'm a just spray 30 bullets at you. I might not hit. I feel like I might not hit you with one, but if I spray 30 bullets at you, you're gonna get at least 5-10 hot ones in your body. You feel me? That's me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got you. I'm gonna call you. The ninja, my dog. Appreciate you for the $5 holla. I don't know if it's tonight. I might call you tomorrow. We'll talk. We'll see if I call you on the late night. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta take care of some things. So, but I will definitely call you either today or tonight. But yeah, Boo Thang, I give her a prop. She was pinking them things today. She was pink. You know what I'm saying? I was like, woo. I was missing. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Let's see up them on them hands though. You feel me? But yeah, man, freaking the roof fell in, caved in. You know what I'm saying? Me and Boothang did the patchwork. If a member, you're gonna see that. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see how it used to look. And if you want to see the hood style, how we put it up hood style. You feel me? We you know what I'm saying? We got the professionals coming in Monday or Tuesday to get it right, caulk it. I mean, not caulk it, spackle it, sand it, blah, 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 do it all nice like that. I ain't that guy to do it, but you know what? We can go ahead and put it hood. And if you go see them pictures, that Joker is hood, and it's going to stay for hopefully like 3 days until the people come in. That's how we do it over here. And I think we got a shout out to a new member in the building too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Clifton Hill. He's a big game supreme new member. Shout out to Mr. Clifton Hill. Give him a well-rounded applause for being a big game supreme. He ain't even a regular. He's supreme. He ain't even a regular. He's supreme. You know what I mean? He didn't get the BGJ. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get the biggie. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get the 99 cent. He came with the Supreme. You feel me? He got the $9.99 meal. You know that meal when they got the extra bacon in the sauces and the fries is big as shit. You know what I'm saying? They said, you want to get that bigger? Yeah, let me go ahead and get a large on that shit. That's the Supreme. So shout out to Mr. Hill being a Supreme member in the building. Yeah. You feel me? So let's do the damn thing. Shout out to everybody. I'm gonna be back in the motherland in 2 days. We taking the trip tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We'll probably late tomorrow night, early Thursday morning. We're gonna be out the building. We'll be touching down tomorrow afternoon, early tomorrow afternoon, Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Back in the motherland, 817, baby. You know what it is, Funky Town. We're gonna be back there. I'm doing a show with my guy Walt Chisholm. Make sure you check that show out. I'm doing that show on the late night. Not late night. It's gonna be at 8 p.m. The show start at 8 p.m. I'm gonna be up there in the studio Thursday with my guy Walt Chisholm in the building on his show Best for Business. So make sure you check out that show. That's my guy. He covers Mavericks and Cowboys. He brings it all. Last interview, he just had Dak Prescott's dad on there. So make sure you check that out. Walt's my guy. And then my dog, the ninja, he already know we gonna link up and kick it, have our great dinner together and do our damn thing. And then, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling everybody Saturday, I'm going to be at the Fisher Bar, Mike Fisher Bar. I believe it's the Maverick Bar on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So if you got time to do anything, get your ass on out there on Saturday evening at the Maverick Bar, Mike Fisher's Bar. That's where we go. So I feel like that's a central spot. You find out where it's at. Get your ass on over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm already got my guy DDP. I already had a few other people tell me they're going to meet me up there. So get your ass up there. If you're the Texas area, get your ass to Mike Fisher's Board. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everything's good. We're going to go up there Saturday and kick it and just have a good time, man. Just drink, 024, whatever. We're just going to kick it. Feel me? So if you're in that Texas area, baby, and you're doing your thing, come holler at Big Gang Giants, man. I'm going to be there, and I ain't like I'm coming in there like a celebrity or nothing like that. So don't think that I'm just coming in there to kick it like everybody else. I ain't coming in there like nothing else but just to kick with my peoples and see a lot of peoples that, hey, I might not seen. You know what I'm saying? I like talking to y'all, but it'd be dope to meet some of y'all. Now, hopefully that can happen when I get there. this weekend, and you know what? I'll be there at training camp in Cali. We already got the knockout books for that, so we're gonna be in Cali. Like I said, we're gonna be in Hawaii, seeing my guy Young Wilson. I just got my homie just hit me up. He got me these tickets to this the Canton, Pittsburgh Cowboys, the Hall of Fame game, and we going to a little after party and an all white party that the next night. So you feel me? Just trying to book up some things. I talked to my guy with the Cowboys experience. I'm gonna show y'all about these packages that's gonna be popping later on. That if you want to go to a game, I can make that shit happen for you on a good price on a low. You can holler at your boy about that. But we're going to these games too. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't go to them last year. We're going to these games too this year. So, you know what I mean? You only live once. Feel me? You only live once. So I'm doing everything I damn sure can. You know what I'm saying? Games, camp, draft, what the hell ever. Because you never know. Tomorrow ain't promised. So I'm going to kick as much as I can and do as much as I can in the short period of time I can. Because like I said, you never know. So we going hard in the paint, y'all. And I told you, eventually we're going to get this road trip popping. We're just going to hit states. We can't do that right now because we got jobs and kids. But that shit eventually gonna happen. We just gonna take a road trip and just go in these states and holler at people and just take the show live and go on the road and say, what the fuck? Hey, I got my member, blah, blah, blah. We rolled up on him. He didn't think we was gonna pull up, and we pulled up on him, and now we're doing a motherfucking show right here. What's good? That's what the fuck I really want to do. Like I am geeked to do some shit like that. So just stay tuned. You feel me? And the second channel I told y'all about, that it's going to be more interviewing, more real life situations, more everything, just whatever. It could be a sports athlete one day. It could be an entertainer one day. It could be somebody. It could be, I'm going to be interviewing everybody. I'm going to take this to a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? Because interviewing is what the fuck I do. Excuse my language. Excuse my language. Please excuse my language. But interviewing is what the I do. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to get my ass out there and I'm going to tell you, we're going to have interview boxing, football, baseball, you know what I'm saying? Soccer, all sports, tennis. I'm going to give athletes from all walks of life. And they're going to tell their stories on here. Not here, Simple Nation, but my other channel. So get your asses ready. And I know I told y'all get your asses ready, but I got to prep y'all for it. I told you wrong one building a day, but you got to get everything set up first before you just jump out there and do it. But best believe it's going down. So make sure y'all just keep on tuning in and supporting that shit. And let's go hard in the paint. All right. So really appreciate everybody jumping in here, man, for the interview with Miss Renee Washington. She was great. Hopefully we'll get her on again. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be 024. And after I get out of here, y'all know what the business is. 024, Boo Thing, love my beard, my not no beard, but my goatee and gang. And I like how it's rocking with the gray hairs right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm really feeling it right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm really feeling it. My barber cut it good, but I'm really feeling it. I like pulling on it. I'm really feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm really feeling it. Like I like looking in the mirror and just pulling on it because there's something about it. I like it. I'm gonna have to keep it. I ain't gonna have it getting crazy down here, just looking ridiculously wild. Like, why you got that? That's just too much. I ain't gonna be that dude, but we gonna keep it about maybe a little bit, make it get a little bit lower right here. Get a little bit lower right there and keep them grays popping, you feel me? And just keep them stroking right there. And I mean, I think that's fresh. You feel me? I'm feeling it. I'm looking in the mirror and like, that's fresh, dog. I really am. Just saying. Just saying. But hey, love y'all. Today is Wednesday. We're gonna go live probably. No, today is Tuesday. Yeah, today is Tuesday. Tune in. Make sure y'all got y'all notification gang up because I'm gonna be going live out there. Hopefully, I can get on with Law. I talked to him. I talked to Law today. And I said, what's up, baby? We meeting up. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully me and Boss Cowboys can meet up. You know what I'm saying? We can do a pop off and do it. Hopefully they can come up to my guy DDP is already coming up there. So hopefully they can come up to the Maverick Bar. And then we just do a live show right there. You feel me? Fuck it. That's where I'm coming. Why not? It ain't gotta have the speakers and the microphones and all that. We'll figure it out. Why not? So, hopefully my guys can come up there and we do that. But make sure y'all got y'all notifications on because it's gonna be we're gonna be doing road trip, all that good stuff. Maybe I might show a little bit of my family. Maybe I might. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But really appreciate you guys more than anything else, man. And I appreciate you, dog, the ninja, for the $2 holler, and just appreciate the subscribers, the members, all the love you guys show me all the time when I go live and beyond. Just want to always, every time, I don't never want to forget it. Every feed I get off here, but I always want to show my love and appreciation for the people that support Silver and Blue Nation and Big Game James and have been there from the beginning and all the way up until now. Just keep on supporting this thing and let's keep on making this thing grow. So salutes to y'all, Silver and Blue Nation, Big Game James. You know what? I'm riding out with my son, Kid Columbus, because that song is just hard as shit. I never get tired of it. You feel me? But we're going to ride out with that. How about you, Cowboys? You know what I'm saying? And go support them. You know what I mean? I'm going to send that link on my page probably this week. And then please go support him, man. He's out there on his grind doing his damn thing. And he's got some really good music. Kid Columbus, K-I-double-D. Double D, like the titties, like he says. Columbus. You can see him. He's got his own YouTube page. I think he's got an album out. You can check him on Apple, Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. Want to continue to help his thing grow, man. So get out there and support him. He's got a lot of good music. This is just a little bit, but he's got a lot of good music out there that I think you'll like. And he's versatile. You know what I'm saying? He can show you all types, all facets of life. So check him out and go support it. But how about them Cowboys? Check it out. And you know how we do. And really appreciate you guys. See ya. Big Game James. I'm out. Peace.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
How about them Cowboys? Click like Power Boys. Make you say Wild Boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Big game, first name James. He interviewed, he called the games. Silver Blue, you know the name. From the Emmitt Smith to the Michael Irv. We beating skins, shooting birds. I see a banker snatch it out his fur. Favorite team on the planet Earth. From Monday night to Sunday church. DJ putting in the work. I'm tuning in, no need to search. Through thick and thin and good and worse. Them Cowboys, click like Power Boys. Make you say Wild Boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the goddamn, they did it again. How about them Cowboys? Click like Power Boys. Make you say Wild Boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that Silver and Blue done did it again. Them Cowboys, click like Power Boys. Make you say Wild Boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the goddamn, they did it again. How about them Cowboys? Click like Power Boys. Make you say Wild Boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team